Hello everybody, and welcome to Football Manager 23. It's finally release day, and we're kicking off our European Journeyman save. As I alluded to in yesterday's video, when I went over what the save was going to be. Here we are. We've created our database. We've got 439,000 players loaded in the database. It'll tell me somewhere. I can never ever remember where you look for it. Where it is, it might even be in preferences. No, it's not in preferences, is it? It's in here somewhere. I wonder if I go to add remove leagues. There we go. 459,000 players loaded. Obviously, you can see there it exceeds the recommended limit of 125,000, but it should be absolutely fine. You can also see, as based on yesterday's video, the challenge that we're doing, we're starting off at the bottom in the European nations. So we've got the first three nations loaded, which is Iceland, Wales, and then Northern Ireland. Now we will be starting off in Iceland today. Unemployed, we are unemployed. This is us for this year. You can see here that we've actually made ourselves, as I said, Sunday League footballer, unemployed. We are English, you know, that's me. 36, I'm still 36 in this. One thing with the Icelandic leagues is it's a summer league, so we do start in January 2022 as opposed to in June in 2022, which with the other leagues would start in. So here we are. Here's the save file. Here's what we're doing. We are starting off unemployed. I've already filtered this down to just the manager, the club, and then Iceland, to see how we get on. But just to give you some idea of the detail level that we've got in the game, I don't know, let's just pick a random African team, shall we say. Let's go for Kenya. We'll have a look at the senior squad. You can see, look, all of these players are all real players. I think in the under-20s as well, again, all real players. We've got so many players loaded throughout the save to choose from going forward. Now, how that's going to impact the performance on my laptop, we'll find out years down the line, you know, as we get through them all. But the only job available at the minute, now, huge apologies, Icelandic names, I'm not going to be able to pronounce them, 100% not going to be able to. It's Kordrengir, but if we have a look at their actual full name, you've got absolutely no chance of me ever saying that. They're a club that are only actually 5 years old. Yeah, they're only 5 years old. In terms of the history, they've come up through the lower leagues. They actually finished in 4th place last season, which is fairly good. If we have a look at the Icelandic First Division, which they're currently in, they're actually predicted to finish 3rd this season, which again is really good. Now, as I said, we are starting at the bottom. I said this in obviously yesterday's announcement video, that we may be stuck in the first couple of nations for just a little while, just while we get our feet under the table, get some reputation built up, stuff like that, while I get used to the game as well. I have not played any of the beta. I've literally loaded it up, had a look around. That's it. I've not chosen any tactics, anything like that. So it's a new game to me as well. So moving forward, as this is the only job available, we are going to apply for it. Wage bill of 13,000. Finance is okay. Pretty good for a 5-year-old team, to be fair. So yeah, we're gonna click the apply button, and then we're gonna continue forward. And I'm gonna go and do that now until we get to potentially the interview. They might just fob us off and say we're not experienced enough, but we'll find out, won't we? So I'll come back in a minute when we get any news on the situation. Well, that was unsuccessful. We're now on the 6th of March, so I've clicked forward through a whole month to get to the Kordrengir board telling me that my application has been unsuccessful. They have reservations about my suitability to deliver the club's vision for the future. This is mainly as a result of your slight lack of experience leading teams to promotion, because this is my first job. It's my first job. So Thordarson has taken the job. I've got no idea how to pronounce that properly or who this guy is. So not the best of starts, and that leaves us with currently no jobs available. If we have a look in Northern Ireland and Wales as well, no jobs available. So basically, it is a case of me clicking forward until a job in Iceland does become available. So until that time, I'll see you guys in a minute. Oh my word. Trying to get a job in Iceland has been a nightmare. You can see there in the top right corner, we're in the 13th of August now. We're 8 months into our save. We were offered a job in Wales though. We weren't offered a job, we were offered a interview by TNS. But I'm committed to doing this in order, so I declined it. That was, as you can see, in the beginning of July. So here we are a month later. We are, we're sort of near the end of the Icelandic season. There's not that many games in Iceland. And HK have offered us a job interview. They are currently sat in 10th place, 2 points outside the relegation zone. So yeah, this is pretty much out. This is the only club in Iceland that so far who have offered us an interview. There's actually two available. Grotta is available as well. They are the team below HK in the league by just the 2 points. Throtta, I believe it's pronounced. They are cut adrift now. They are pretty much relegated. The manager hasn't lost his job yet though. He's stable. He's stable. But yeah. HK offers an interview. We are definitely going to attend. This is our first ever interview. Board are pleased that you've taken the time to attend today. There are a few questions we would like to ask you to see if you're the manager we want to take the club forward. Yep, thank you very much. How would you overcome the relatively big obstacle of not speaking the language? I don't think it's something to worry about. I can learn the language in time. Absolutely fine. Can you explain why you appear to be in the running for a few jobs right now? I admit it doesn't look good. If you want to see a chance of getting the job, I will do just that. We want to ensure the dressing room atmosphere is much better than it was under our previous manager. Can you assure us that there would be no problems were we to hire you? 100% we're going to promise that, we need a job. I don't want to replace our last manager who we had to part company with earlier than expected. Are you going to be around for a while? It's my intention. Yeah, of course we're going to promise that because we just want a job, don't we? Are you the right person to turn this underachieving club around? Yes, I am. I don't think the club is underperforming. No, we're not going to say that, are we? I'm all about the motivation. Yeah. Would you be able to take charge straight away? I'm happy to take charge immediately. What charge team here? I'd be more than happy to work with the club's existing support team. Long-term vision of the club is to develop the players using the club's youth system, work within the wage budget. End of current season. Obviously, there's no objectives for that, but next season gain automatic promotion to the Premier Division. Okay, big ambitions here at HK. We have no expectations to fulfill the current season expectations budget we've set in the build for next season if you're hired. That's fine. What's next? Any requests? No requests. That just about covers everything. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So now again, it's just a case of clicking forward and hopefully we get the job. And we can have a look around the club, HK itself. And then probably wrap up the episode, to be honest. I'm going to have to go through the squad, identify players that I'm going to use, a tactic I'm going to use, stuff like that. So hopefully it's not too long until we hear back from HK. One other thing that obviously to bring up is, because this is the first time I played the game today, I've got no skins, no badge packs, anything like that installed. Those are things that I'm going to add, add along the line as I go. So hopefully they'll start appearing pretty soon. Same with kits like I did in Football Manager 22. Hopefully Nymain gets himself a kit passer sorted for FM23 because his kit passer app thing is absolutely unreal, as we saw in the Cosmos save in Football Manager 22. So fingers crossed that we get this HK job, and obviously I'll be back in a minute if we do. Well, back to the drawing board. It was unsuccessful. Christian Gudmundsson has got the job. What a shame. They're up to 8th now. HK. That's just how close the league are. So, what's our other options? Grotta. Grotta are our other option. Have we applied for the Grotta job? I don't know. It says it's available, but I can't apply for it. What an absolute shame. We might have to wait until the end of the season. So the first season might be a write-off. I am going to keep going forward. I'm just going to get to the point, where I get a job in today's episode. It's been a very slow start to I don't know why I can't apply for this though. It's been a bit of a poor start to the series, really, hasn't it? We haven't even got ourselves a club. We've been denied a couple of jobs. I should have started in Wales, shouldn't I? I should have started in Wales. TNS approached us. I think the issue is, despite Iceland being lower coefficients wise than Wales are, I think the reputation of the teams in Wales is lower than the teams in Iceland, which I think is possibly the issue that I'm having here. I think if nothing comes available in Iceland that I can get, I might have to start in Wales and then do Iceland afterwards, maybe, just to get the save going, because we're 8 months in now and nothing's happened. I'll be back when something does happen. Still here in November looking for a job. It's not going well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start again, basically. And what I'm going to do, I know I'm supposed to be starting unemployed, but Kordrengir didn't have a manager at the start of the game. So just to get me in, really, I'm going to start again, and I'm going to take a charge of Kordrengir. It's like I was unemployed. They didn't have a manager. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm in November. I'm nearly a year into the game, and I haven't actually played any Football Manager yet. I've just sat pressing spacebar waiting for a job to come up. So I'm going to go load another game up, and I'll come back again in a minute, and we'll have a look around Kordrengir, and we'll wrap up the episode. It's been what a disappointing start to the series it's been. I'll go and start another game, and then we'll have a look around the club. All right, guys. Here we are, finally. We've got a club. Kordrengir in Iceland, in the Icelandic First Division. Now, I'm going to leave all of the trying to get a job. I'm going to leave that in the video. It's part of the experience, isn't it? Not the best experience so far of Football Manager 23, not being able to get a job. Obviously, the Sunday League reputation, stuff like that really hasn't helped the cause. But we are now the manager of Kordrengir. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the first name in that club. You can see they've got 2-star reputations. The media do predict them to finish third. Only a 5-year-old team, 1,200 capacity stadium, adequate facilities, stuff like that. We're not really interested in that sort of stuff. We're just here to do a job and move on. We've got a fairly decent wage budget, no transfer budget though. And these are the players. Fairly professional squad. We do have loan obligations and stuff like that. Key player is Ayoso Villa. He's pretty decent, isn't he? A 34-year-old Spaniard in centre of midfield. So sign players for the age of under 23, work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation, stuff like that. That's fine. Maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 32. Okay, fair enough. They want us to record a First Division top half finish and be competitive in the cups. And then next season it's gain automatic promotion. Right, fair enough. Strive to make progress on and off the pitch. That's fine. Yes, do you know what? I hate doing the media stuff in Football Manager, but because I'm going to be applying for different jobs, I have actually seen in last year's second yellow card had an issue where he couldn't get jobs because he didn't talk to the media. So I am actually going to have to do some of the press conferences. We will save it quickly, and then we'll have a look around the club, see what type of players that we've got to deal with. Hopefully we can do a decent job. So we'll have a look around. We'll wrap up the episode And then I'm going to start looking at players and stuff like that. Obviously, we start in January. The league itself doesn't actually start till May. In Iceland, they have this League Cup type system. That's awesome. We've got all of our players running out of contracts at the end of the year. Yeah, that's awesome. Goodman, Thoresen, veteran centre half. So we've got a lot of work to do. I don't want to create a tactic now. We're just gonna create something really quickly, just to get rid of the tutorials. Support the profile. Now this is a new thing in FM23. I've never seen this before, but we have now support the profile, so we can see 80% of our supporters are hardcore. Mostly we're made up of family. Supporters' influence on the board is low as well. You do also get supporter expectations, which it pretty much matches the board. And then you get the board one as well, which, like I say, is exactly the same. Squad selection rules. Now this is one of the things that's obviously going to change for us throughout the course of the save as we go through the various nations. So there must be no more than 3 non-EU players in the playing 11. So that's a difficult one straight away. No more than 25 players, that's fine. Squad must have at least 8 players trained by the club across your 25 players. So 8 of them need to be trained by club. And then the other one is must have at least 8 players trained by the club or a club in Iceland. So obviously, if you've got 8 trained by club, that covers the bottom one as well. So yeah, in terms of club info, we've got Loic Ondo, who is another centre half. He's the vice captain, 31-year-old Gabonese. A lot of these see that's something that we can do. He's got a second nationality of French, which means he's actually got EU nationality, which is really, really important. We do have our 3 foreigners already. We've got a 41-year-old Goran Jovanovski, a 41-year-old Macedonian defender. So I've got some squad things to. Of course, England don't count as EU anymore, do they? Nathan Dale, though, 22-year-old. So we've got a few players that we need to sort of move on. I'm going to have a look through transfer markets, stuff like that. You may notice that I don't have attribute masking on this time around. Something that I used last year in Football Manager, and it just made it a little bit more, I would say difficult, but no, it made it a bit more frustrating. So no attribute masking. We are predicted to finish 3rd, as I said. Financially, we've got £15,000, so there's not a lot of money. Youth candidates, no youth recruitment or anything like that. And yeah, players out on loan or in on loan. No, they're out on loan, so we may look to try and call them back if we can. Squad planner. This is another new one. I've never seen this before, so I'm going to have to work through this. It effectively replaces the squad report type of thing. It shows you the players that you've got for this season, next season, and the season after. It tells you their age, stuff like that. You can obviously do different positions. So next season, the only right back we've got is our 42-year-old, and the season after as well, he's the only right back that we've got. So we do need to invest in a right back. It just helps you visualise your squad, basically, which is really, really good. And there's more stuff like that kicking about. I'm not quite sure where it is, but it is sort of kicking about somewhere like this. In here as well, in your club vision, you've now also got this supporters tab here, which is, again, like I've said a minute ago, is something really, really cool added to the game, and I'm looking forward to it. So that is our save. It did take us a long time to get into it, to the point where I've had to restart the save just so I can get a job, which I'm disappointed about. I do want to get this episode out today though, and it's now 5 to 10 at night. It's took me that long. I've had one of those days today, really, and so I'm going to wrap the episode up here. I'm going to quickly edit it, upload it to YouTube, and I'll start working my way through something of a pre-season, the League Cup. We're not really bothered about the League Cup or the Icelandic Cup. It's all about the divisions for us, obviously building our reputation as well. You can see profile-wise, like I said, I've started off with no coaching badges, Sunday League footballer, no reputation, poor attributes. So we need to build ourselves up and stuff like that before we can start thinking about moving on. So I'm going to go and do that now. I'm going to go and edit this episode. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a little bit of patience with me while I've tried to get this job. I was never going to get a job. I was sat there for a year clicking forward. This club didn't have a manager at the start of the game. So, I've just decided I've applied for this job and they gave me it. But thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all in the next episode.